Bitcoin keeps pumping to the upside, and now the big question is, will we get a rejection here anytime soon, or will we just keep going into new all-time high? This is what we want to talk about today. So if you think that's interesting, let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. And today's episode will be a really quick one because I have actually to run to the airport. Without any further ado, get here into the charts. The DXY is moving here in direction below 100 points here once again. We have here a nice rejection candle today that might end up in the best case scenario, a bearish engulfing, where we go here straight below 99.5 points. If not, that's also fine. By Monday, we should definitely see a continuation and form here an evening star candlestick pattern where we break below the 100 point level once again. Now when we look at Bitcoin, the weekly candle is looking absolutely massive here this week. A really nice pump above key resistance, which is now or should be now again support at $99,400 approximately if we're turning around. But what I want to mention here is, in my opinion, we will form here somewhat of an inverse head and shoulders on the weekly chart. So that means at some point we're gonna come back, have a pullback into $99,000 at one point, then come up here again, complete this inverse head and shoulders, and then I'm gonna give you the technical target, be in alignment more or less. Yeah. So, and that gives us a technical target of $135,000 per Bitcoin, so which is another 32% roughly from current price, but we should come down to complete this inverse head and shoulders pattern if it is one. And here is the entry that you want to get. So at least me, I know it's a little bit more risky, but I don't believe that we're going to get from here rejected and break into lower levels here, and rather get a bounce, then go to the neckline and move you to the upside. So the best entry and the most safe entry for you guys is definitely still here, the neckline. You should not do what I do sometimes here at $106,000 roughly. That would be the safest place to enter. But like I said, I like to enter a little bit lower to maximize my profit, but you have to do what you want to do. When we're going into the 50 minutes chart, here is another pattern forming up. We have an ascending triangle that will be completed later today. So the breakout moment where we should break out is between here and here. So here we have another 8 hours roughly where we should get a breakout. I believe for the next couple hours, what we're going to see is a retest of the top range here at that resistance of $104,000, getting another rejection, then cool down on here on the stochastic area side because we are soon again at the top of the stochastic. And I base that on the MACD just turning around while the stochastic is running hot. So we got here already a buy signal. So, but it looks to me like I said, that we are coming up here, turning around one more time, and then when we swing around, that is where we get the breakout out of that ascending triangle. And then the technical target for this one, and that's the next imminent trade for Bitcoin, $106,324, which is again giving us confluence to what I just said here a minute ago. And I'm trading this myself, and I'm going to show you that trade in a moment. Super high leverage. Just going to warn you guys about that. So here on the 1 hourly chart, if you remember, I told you a couple of days ago when I had drawn that box here, take profits, not screenshots, when we get close to $100,000. You have not missed anything if you took profits there. You should not think like, oh, Alex told us to close our trades at $100,000. Now I'm down 4% roughly because I did not stay in the trade, you know. So that's the wrong mindset, guys. The profits are profits, and that can nobody take away from you. And that's what it's about, you know, that you preserve your capital and keep growing your capital. So if you missed here like a 3.7% move to the upside, fine. There's more trades to come. I just gave you one, actually two, where you can take even bigger swings on that on a trade setup, you know. So, and that's why me personally, I'm absolutely fine where I took my money out and have now a small scalp trade running to make a little bit more money, you know. So, but if you took profits here, it's absolutely fine, guys. Don't beat yourself up that you missed here that whole move to the upside. You just saw here on the 15 minutes chart, there's the next pattern forming up there where you can take that breakout and trade this here into $106,000. On this 4 hourly chart, with the MDX algo scalp gradients, you see here price action is running hot. That is another reason for me to be a little bit cautious that we potentially get here a reversal. Also, we have a bearish divergence on the reactor indicator here, as you can see. And now the only way that we could, or the only level that I see us going up to before we turn around would be here roughly $106,000. Again, massive confluence around this level. There is resistance and huge sell order blocks, and that is potentially the level from where we turn around and come back down here into deep psychological resistance, which should be now psychological. Potentially we could go a little bit lower. I'm also going to show that in a moment, but not much, guys, really not a lot. Now, my trade that I have currently running here is a 40x leverage trade, as you can see. I definitely going to let that run because my liquidation price, I don't think right now it will get touched, and we are trying to break here that resistance level where I'm basically entered, so you can, or even up here. So once it's broken and we get then like an $800 move, I'm out, you know. So I showed you guys $3,100 potentially in the next couple hours, you know. So that's absolutely fine for me for that trade here. Then I'm already with this account at over $10,000. I'm up here. Oh, actually almost $20,000 on that account, and I'm getting closer to my target, you know. So slowly but steady is winning the race here, you know. So, and 20,000 will be really quick to get to 50, from 50 to 100, from 100 to 200, and so on and so on. When we're looking at the liquidation levels, then you can clearly see that we have here some high leverage liquidity all the way up at $104,600 approximately, then super low leverage liquidity all the way up to 106. That's why I believe when we break here $104,600 that we're going to get a quick short squeeze up here with a wick and come straight back down. And that will catch a lot of people off guard, while we are then getting the proper pullback to like $102,000 to $100,000 in my opinion here in that kind of range, taking out here the high leverage liquidity that's built up down here, up there, yeah. So, and from there we're gonna get then a bounce with continuation to the upside. Now, when I look at the liquidation heat map, so you see all the way up here, $104,600 roughly, there is some high concentrated short liquidity that we're most likely going to tap. And then when we get above that, we would trigger a short squeeze to like $106,000 roughly. And then there is a void. So I believe that we're not tapping into this, getting then a reversal with a major pullback. Could go all the way down to like $98,600 approximately, where we have then again a concentrated area of long liquidity that could be taken out, and it will start to accelerate with a long squeeze here all the way down from $102,000 and to below $100,000. Then shortly afterwards, we're going to tap that liquidity most likely, and then we come back up and go higher. The total free market cap is here close at $900 billion. We were actually above $900 billion today already. So I believe by tomorrow we're gonna touch here $924 billion, $26 billion, sorry. Potentially not breaking this level just yet, but next week at some point we're going to break it and we'll move in direction of $1 trillion. This will go now really, really quickly. If you're not positioned on altcoins, you're gonna miss out, in my opinion. The Bitcoin dominance also started finally breaking down here. We were waiting for this such a long time, so finally it is happening, and that means we are also at the beginning of the altcoin season. You see there's a long way down to that massive support level here, all the way down to 40%. So we need like 23.5% move to the downside in dominance, which is massive. So in that, I cannot even explain, you know, how many multiples coins gonna pull on that movement here to the downside. So it will not happen in like a matter of weeks. It will take a couple months to do that, but in these months we're gonna make so much money. It will be, if you want to trade with me together, guys, do this on Bybit. You get $30,000 worth of bonuses still there. There's still a Bybit card, also a free airdrop position. If you deposit, I think you need to deposit $50 to claim the $500 advantage of that. All the links are in the pin coin below and in the description below for that. All my altcoin trades are actually happening on a Bybit, and I'm also gonna share soon way more trades, but only if you have a Bybit account, guys. So take advantage of that. So now the Ethereum chart is exploding. So I gave you guys here, when was that? Roughly 2 weeks ago, I gave you this trade here, 30.5%. Ethereum actually broke higher, so but this is already a super juicy trade. Also here, if you were late, I gave you the secondary setup now. Most likely that resistance level that we see here is now acting as support from $2,265 to $2,343. Could get one last final push here to the upside to like 2,600, but then definitely also get a rejection all the way back down to $2,100 approximately, then start consolidating, and then we continue to go in direction of $3,000. For Solana, The most important line that I watch on Solana, while we're consolidating, and you can clearly see that this is a consolidation right now, is that the stochastic is going down, price is not really pulling back, it's just going sideways basically. Once we're breaking above that downward sloping trend line, there is your next trade setup in direction of $200. What is that? $171 to $200. That is here. If almost 16% move to the up, yeah, it is over 16%, 17% actually. Yeah, 17% move to the upside in that Solana trade, and that also most likely is going to happen rather sooner than later. Then Coti, I told you, you can still enter this trade here that we took from all the way here from these lows. If you would have done that, then you would be up on that one now already roughly 8%. So and there's still another 20% to go to the upside. So just stay in there. I will not do anything with this right now besides setting my stop loss to the entry level. If you entered here from 7.8 cents when I gave it to you 2 days ago, because the 10-cent level is acting right now as a magnet. So here, look at this downward sloping trend line. Once that's broken, we're going to send higher. So the next one is SUI that I'm looking at. Here we have also a symmetrical triangle forming up on the 4-hourly chart. We have already bottomed out on a stochastic. Most likely turning around with the next 4-hourly candle, and once we are breaking $4.10, we're going to go really quickly to $4.47, 48 in my opinion. We're above the EMA ribbon. We are getting closer to touch it. If we touch it, it's absolutely fine. On the Fibonacci retracement levels, the worst level that I see that we could go down to would be here $3.72. So I would set some limit orders there, and otherwise you wait for the break of this downward sloping trend line here at around $3.95. So either one of these two entry levels are the ones that you can take for the next trade setup. Whatever happens first, that is where you go with, and trade is then to the upside. So if I would enter from here all the way up there, so here you have like almost a 12% move to the upside with a 2% stop loss. So definitely a really good trade setup, and if you can catch it from down here, it's of course even better. A 20% move to the upside. Either way, both setups are absolutely fine. Like I said, whatever happens first is the one that you go with, and you just wait here for a 30-minute candle close, either of the levels once we are touching them. Then the next one is Link. Link has here the inverse head and shoulders pattern that is broken to the upside now. We are here still in a resistance area. Once we get a 4-hourly candle close above $16.30, I would consider opening a position to trade this into $20 in the $20 direction, and there is also more than enough profit still that you can take with you. If you look here, this is a 22% move, and that can also opening here in a matter of days, in my opinion. And I have another trade that I wanted to give you guys. That is one that I'm eyeing to take myself, and that is here that AVAX trade. We are here just under the resistance of 24.41 cents to 27.83 cents. So even that move here from that resistance to the next one is a 15% move that I easily can take and close the trade up here. See what's going to happen if we break above that or not. If not, that's then when we turn around, come back to the bottom, that's where I'm going to relong this again with all the profit and then trade the breakout, because the target is all the way up here at $53.60. So that is like almost over 100% move from here. Look at this. This is like a 95% move to the upside. So I definitely want to trade that trade here as a swing trade over the next coming weeks. And guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And I see you with more money. I'm not sure if I see you tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, otherwise after tomorrow.